It'll take them just a second to start dropping in. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and get started. And as people drop in, then they can just join us. So welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for all West Virginia students, sponsored by the West Virginia Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admissions Officers and StriveScan. We're glad you were able to join us this evening. Just a few housekeeping items before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to ask questions to your panelists. Your camera and microphone are off, so your presenter can't see you or hear you. So you will want to make sure that you utilize that Q&A box. Also, this is just one of the many different presentations that we're offering over the next few weeks. If you want to check out the full schedule, you can do so at WVACRAO.org. And also, this presentation is being recorded and will be available within 1 week on our website. So just make sure that you check that out. Again, that is WVACRAO.org. And I will go ahead and turn it over to your presenter.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Megan. So my name is Rita Murphy. I am the admission counselor for West Virginia students at Catholic University, the Catholic University of America here in DC. So again, feel free to use the chat, anybody who pops in here. But otherwise, I'll get started today with a nice presentation. Share my sound. Awesome. So just to kind of give you an idea of, where we are in DC itself. I get that question a lot from students, how close are we to the city? So we're in the city itself. So this is just a nice little overview of where campus is situated. So when you think about DC and downtown, down by the Capitol, National Mall, that kind of area, we're about 10 minutes up the main road from there. So we're kind of in our own little pocket of the Brookland neighborhood. And so, you get that nice balance of being in the city, but living on a residential campus. We have 176 acres of green space, so lots of space to spread out and again feel like you are on that traditional residential campus, but again the city is right there. You're surrounded by it itself. So we'll just get started today looking at who's here at Catholic University. So we've got about 3,300 undergrad students and 2,600 graduate and law students. We are the Catholic University of America, but we are welcoming to students of all faith backgrounds. So you don't have to be Catholic to apply or attend. We do have, some theology requirements, but I do get asked the question a lot if we have a service requirement or a mass requirement. We do not, but there are definitely plenty of opportunities to worship both on and off campus around the area, as well as get involved in service. A lot of our students are very service oriented, whether that be, just the Catholic community itself or the surrounding neighborhood or DC or the world at large. So there's definitely a lot of opportunities to, form ministry through service if that's something that you're looking to do. So looking at the classroom, we are a small liberal arts school, so we have a smaller class size of about 19 to 21 students, which is an average class for you. That's a 7-to-1 student to faculty ratio, so you're definitely getting that personalized attention in the classroom. But thinking about, our faculty here, we've got 400 full-time faculty, 93% of whom hold the highest degree in their field. Catholic University was actually started as a graduate research institution. So we have that background of that very high level of education and high level research here before we even introduced undergrad classes. So we've got, that baseline in the classroom of that higher education and striving to, be the best in the classroom. And we've got faculty who have had experience in their fields, who are currently working in their field, or, currently doing research in the field that they're studying. So you're really getting, that high level of instruction, as well as, again, that personalized attention. So speaking of personalized attention, we'll turn our attention to the type of advising that you'll have access to on campus. So when you are, transitioning to college, it's really helpful to have, someone you can turn to on campus. So in addition to, your major of study, you'll get a faculty advisor within that department. You'll also have an advisor who's cross-trained in both academic and career services. So they're going to help you pick your major, pick your classes, and then just generally, get to know you over those 4 years and get to know your individual interests. So they can help you look for internships, look at post-grad opportunities, construct cover letters, practice interviews, write recommendation letters, anything like that. And just generally as someone to turn to here on campus. So just to give you an idea of what's, going on here at Catholic, I've got a short video. So we will take a look at that and then dive a little bit more deeply into the academic and student life here at Catholic.
Welcome to the Catholic University of America. And welcome to Washington, D.C. Nowhere on earth is quite like this place. A research institution nestled in the nation's capital. The epicenter of world politics and influence. A gorgeous campus, the largest in Washington. With green spaces and beautiful buildings containing all the modern tools and resources needed for discovery and the development of new ideas. Just minutes from downtown. A place where faith and reason come together to inform and inspire everything we do. And a place that will set you on a path that will change your life forever. We're glad you're here. Students and faculty at Catholic are doing important research and leading innovation, like in our Rehabilitation Engineering Research Center that is improving outcomes for stroke patients, or startup incubator programs that bring different disciplines together to spark new ideas. Truly, this is an institution where you can choose and instead of or. You can be a college athlete and do community service. You can study journalism and communications and business. You can feel at home on a residential campus in Washington, D.C. And you can study abroad, like 40% of the students who come here. So while our Catholic roots make us prone to humility, we are proud of the work we're doing. And we think you will see why as you learn more. Welcome to the Catholic University of America.
Awesome. So just to continue here today, so like we talked about earlier, we are a liberal arts school. So with that, you will complete what's called a liberal arts core, which will range depending on your major, what exactly those requirements will be. But this is so that, when you graduate and you are an engineering major, a political science major, or a nursing major, you have taken classes outside of those subject areas, and you have taken classes across the board, and you have experience in, all types of different learning styles, discussion-based, critical thinking, analysis, mathematics, the arts. You've kind of taken something in every subject. So along with that is your freshman year to get started in that is what's called first year experience. This is also a way that we help freshmen sort of transition into that freshman year on campus. And so this consists of 4 different classes. So 2 philosophy classes, 1 theology, and 1 English class. And those are spread out amongst the 2 different semesters freshman year. And you'll take this with the same group of 18 students. So these are called learning communities, and you'll get to know these students, you get to know these professors really well. I've heard it compared to sort of like a collegiate level homeroom. So you, again, kind of get that nice transition where you're getting used to everything on campus and life in a new city and life with a whole new group of people, but you kind of have that one constant that you can depend on seeing, the same group of students every so often during the week. So that's a really great experience for students. You take excursions into downtown DC with your groups as well, really using DC as an extension of the classroom with all the different museums, architecture, monuments, and anything, around the city that that professors can, use as an extension of their classroom. And we do offer an honors program here at Catholic, so all students who apply to Catholic are considered for the honors program. This consists of what's called a discipline of knowledge track. So it's a grouping of classes. You can sort of think of it as a minor. And so you'll complete these outside of your major of study. And these are going to be honor-specific courses and grouped together by a certain theme. We also offer honors housing and special honors trips within the department. So again, all students get considered for the honors program, and you can actually apply to be in the honors program up until your sophomore year here at Catholic. So even if that's not something that originally you get admitted or invited into upon application, you can still join that once you become a student here. So taking a look at different academics that are available, we have 9 different undergraduate schools of study. For a smaller liberal arts school, we do have a lot of options, which is a really nice balance for students who do want that smaller school feel. But again, as we talked about that, graduate level background of the school, we have some really highly developed programs. So up first is the School of Arts and Sciences. This is perhaps our largest school. And we have all the natural sciences. Some of our most popular majors are politics, criminology, education, psychology, languages. So anything within there is found in the School of Arts and Sciences. And then we also have the Bush School of Business. We have marketing, international business, strategy management and operations, accounting. So you've got a lot of options within the business school as well. The business school itself, the building, was newly renovated in the past year or so. So it's very up to date technologically. It's a beautiful, exterior of an old architecture building, but you've got that all up to date technology inside. So it's a really cool building for both business and non-business students to use. And then the School of Engineering also has a ton of options within there. So we've got civil engineering, computer science, biomedical engineering, and a couple more that, so I mentioned these 3 schools together because each of them have an option to come in as an exploratory major. So that's the School of Arts and Sciences, the School of Business, and the School of Engineering. You can come in as an exploratory major within that school. So that way you're starting to take those intro classes and get on track for the major that you're thinking or you're leaning toward, but you don't have to declare specifically what you're going to major in until sophomore year. So for, business and engineering, you're at least getting started on that track, and you get to take, some different intro classes and kind of figure out where your interests really lie within those departments so that you can hone in and decide on a particular concentration within that school. Next, we have the School of Architecture and Planning. A couple cool options within here. We do have a city and regional planning degree, a Bachelor of Arts in Architecture, as well as an IPAL option, which is the Integrated Path to Architecture Licensure. This is an accelerated program for students who know that they'd like to get their license in architecture. So this is about a 7-year program as opposed to usually 12 to 13 years to get your license in architecture. So again, that's an accelerated program that's condensed in terms of, when you take different internships, different classes, and get different volunteer hours, all within that time span. So that's a really unique opportunity for students who know right off the bat, architecture is definitely for them. But the School of Architecture and the School of Engineering are both really great with getting students, hands-on experience really starting right away. In the School of Architecture, you'll get your own studio space. early on freshman year. So, you get exposure to the major and the field and what you'll be doing so that you're able to figure out pretty quickly if this is the right, major for you. Next is the School of Nursing, the Conway School of Nursing. This is perhaps one of our most competitive schools because we do have a cap on the number of students that we can admit. So that number kind of fluctuates each year depending on the amount of applications we get, but usually each class ends up being around 90 students. So definitely more competitive. And I will say this is the one school that once you are a student here at Catholic, you can't switch into that school. So if you have any interest in the School of Nursing, definitely apply as a nursing major right off the bat so that you can start taking those courses and get on that track. And if you find out that it's not the right path for you, you can always switch out of the School of Nursing, but again, you can't switch into it. The first 2 years, you'll be taking courses in the classroom under what's called exploratory nursing. And then junior and senior year, you will be doing your clinical work. So you'll be in hospitals and volunteering at that point. So it's a very rigorous program, so we can't start students later on there. Next, we have the National Catholic School of Social Service. We have the Bachelor of Social Work as well as a Bachelor and Master's 5-year program option within this school, which is pretty popular for students who would like to stay at Catholic and pursue that Master's in 1 year's time. And then the Rome School of Music, Drama, and Art is also has been rising in popularity for students who want that conservatory sort of feel in the classroom, but want that undergrad traditional campus and campus community feel. So you kind of get the best of both worlds with the Rome School of Music, Drama, and Art. We do have some options in there for a musical theater, Bachelor of Music, such as musical theater, composition, conducting, piano, voice performance, and a couple other options. So if you are interested in the Bachelor of Music, you have to complete an audition as a part of your application. So that's the only school that requires an additional aspect of the application. And so that's all online. You can find all of that on the Rome School's computer page. And so you can find out all the information on how to apply or how to send in your audition for that. If you're interested in being in any musical groups, performance groups, trying out for the play or musical or anything like that, you don't have to be a student in that school to get involved. So you definitely don't have to be, studying drama in order to try out for the play. So if that's something that you'd like to continue doing, say maybe you did it in high school, or you'd like to try it newly in college, you don't have to be a student within that school to get involved. And then lastly, our two oldest schools of study, the School of Philosophy and the School of Theology and Religious Studies. We have the Bachelor of Philosophy and the Bachelor of Theology and Religious Studies. You will be taking plenty of courses in both of these subject areas as a part of our core curriculum, as we talked about before. So you'll definitely be getting exposure to those, even if those aren't your major of study. And so we do have a couple pre-professional study tracks if you're interested in going to dental school, medical school, veterinary school, or law school at some point. These are not majors, but they are certain advising tracks. So, there's particular advisors who work with students in each of these subject areas, and they help them determine, if that is the right path for them, where to apply to schools, how to apply, what kind of volunteer hours they need, what kind of classes they should take. So they have been through that process, and they help advise students on what they should be doing in that undergrad timeframe to be the best candidate for those programs. The 3+3 Bachelor and Juris Doctorate option is a very unique option where students who know they'd like to go to law school can actually apply during their undergrad to take part in the 3+3 program. So in their 4th year of undergrad, it will actually count as your first year of law school as well. So it's an accelerated program, again, where you are cutting some time out of that, what normally would take for law school, and you're getting started right on that track. So you can actually stay at Catholic University at the Columbus School of Law and jump right into that law degree if that is something that you figure out is what you'd like to do. Anyone who's looking to study abroad as a part of their, undergrad experience, there are over 96 programs spread out over 6 different continents that our students have gone to and continue to plan to go to in the future. Right now, we don't have any students abroad, but in the spring, we are hoping to send some of our students to our flagship program in Rome. So Catholic University has its own campus in Rome, our own buildings and faculty over there. So we're able to really control that environment. So we're hoping to get some students out there this spring, or at least in the summer. So in addition to semester and year-long programs, we also offer, one course credit opportunities over the summer, or over different breaks where you can go and study at the Rome school, but taking, that one course. So this summer, I believe we're offering a nutrition class, a drama class, and one other class I can't remember at the moment, but so a lot of options there. But there's also, so many different programs that students go to around the world, and it's just, working with the study abroad office and figuring out what is best for you. But we do make sure that every student who wants to go abroad really can make that happen. So it's open to all majors. Even, a nursing student who has that packed schedule is able to take, say, that nutrition course over the summer and be abroad for a couple weeks. Or there's a pretty competitive program at the Catholic School of Australia that we have an exchange with, as well as in Dublin, there's another program. So there are a lot of options depending on, what kind of courses you're looking to take abroad, but definitely something, if you'd like to fit that into your undergrad, definitely something we can make happen. And finally, so while there is a lot going on in DC, Catholic is definitely not the type of school that you have to leave to find something to do. So there's definitely something for everyone to get involved in. As we touched upon in the beginning, within campus ministry, we have a lot of opportunities for student ministry and worship on campus. So it's a really great opportunity to meet other students and to dive into your faith life. Whether you're a Catholic or not, a lot of students get a lot out of, just diving into what faith means to them. And there's a lot of opportunities for different retreats that, again, are open to students of all faith backgrounds, or even if they don't, have a particular religion. All of that is open to all of our students. And this year we were actually able to still hold our freshman retreat, which was great. They got to do that virtually. Our freshmen are on campus, so we were able to have them meet with masks on, spread out, and I believe they streamed in some of the speakers, some of the upperclassmen speakers. So they were still able to, form that community with the freshmen, which was really great. And again, like we talked about, there's a lot of opportunity for service, both on campus and around campus. We were also able to get some volunteers for our big day of service this past fall, a couple weeks ago. So that was really great. We got to send some students out into the community, as well as some virtual service. So that was really, really great. And campus ministry also hosts a lot of events. CUA on Tap is just one of the many. Free food, great speakers, always something to do with students. So a lot of, just events going on campus. We have over 100 student clubs and organizations, so definitely, something for everybody. We also have D3 athletic teams, 25 D3 teams. So if you're looking to play a sport competitively in college, that's definitely an option for you. You can get in touch with some of our coaches and see, your different opportunities for that. We also have some club team sports like rugby, ultimate frisbee, the dance team, cheerleading, and a couple others, hockey, as well as intramural sports. So if you're looking to, stay active and stay involved in a sport maybe you played in high school, just not at the same time commitment level, intramural sports can be a super fun way to meet people and, get involved on campus. 30% of our students are student athletes, and actually 100% of our student athletes take part in those days of service that I mentioned, which is a really great way to, give back to the campus and to the community. All right, so now I'm taking a deeper look into what's going on here in DC. So like we talked about, we are in the capital city, so with that comes the advantages of being around, everything that the city has to offer. But, we do have that traditional campus feel. We're the largest self-contained campus in Washington, D.C. Again, 176 acres of green space, so plenty of space to spread out, play frisbee on the lawn, all of those, typical college things that you'll see happen in all the brochures. It really happens, I promise. And so we are in the Brookland neighborhood, right across the street is some great options for students during the week or on the weekends. There's a farmer's market down the street. Usually they hold an arts walk there during the summer or during usually the fall. It should be coming back soon. And then we do have a 3-year residency requirement. So you're required to live on campus freshman through junior year. And then some students choose to move off their senior year. So again, across the street, we have a really great connection with our partnership with some apartment buildings across the street. So a lot of our seniors live there or in different houses in the area. But you don't have to move off campus. We do have, space for students on campus, so you can definitely stay on your senior year. And we're actually in the process of building a new dining hall and a new residence hall on campus. Both are projected to be completed in the fall of 2022. So that's going to be really great, just more ways for students to spread out, have their own space, and have the opportunity to, be eating on campus with all their friends as well as living on campus. So as I mentioned, we are in Brookland. So here is the train system within DC. So we're on the Red Line. So we have actually our own metro stop right across from campus. So it's really easy, really accessible and affordable for students to get in and around DC. You definitely don't need a car. It's really, again, easy to navigate the system. I grew up outside of New York City and never quite caught on to the subway systems there. But it was really easy to catch on. It's also named the Brookland CUA stop. So you definitely won't miss your stop while you're on the train, getting used to it. But, you can shoot right down to the National Mall, walk around there. The Smithsonian museums are all free, see some of the monuments. You go out to dinner on the weekends with your friends or roommates, go to a concert, sports game. You can go into Northern Virginia, Maryland. So again, really, anything that you'd like to do. And also with, the metro being so accessible and making the city so accessible, that really opens up opportunities for our students to take on internships and jobs and different shadowing opportunities during their undergrad that normally maybe they wouldn't have access to. Normally if you might need a car to get to an internship or it just might be too far, students are really able to fit those in starting freshman and sophomore year during their week or on the weekends or after classes or anything like that. I think about 60% of our students take part in 2 or more internships before they graduate. So, really just a testament to, how accessible they are. And here are just some photos of some examples of different things you can do, here in the city. So we've talked about, that the benefits of the education and the advising tracks here at Catholic, as well as that DC location. But, why Catholic University? If you ask any of our tour guides or any student that you pass on campus, a resounding answer will be that community, the people here. Students really that's why a lot of them choose to come here, and that's what they tell prospective students over and over again. It's that community feel that when you're walking through campus, you pass your roommate, you pass friends from class, but it's never too small that you're not meeting new people. So it's kind of right in that sweet spot of, feeling really seen and feeling really connected to the, group of people here on campus and in the community, but, meeting new people every year and in new classes and all of that. And so when can you become a part of this community? Our deadlines are November 1st and January 15th for applications. So November 1st is Early Decision 1 and Early Action. Early Decision 1 is a binding program. If Catholic University is your #1 choice, you can apply Early Decision 1, and if you are admitted, then you will be coming to Catholic. Early Action is non-binding, so if you are admitted to Catholic, you still down the line will make that choice by May 1st, whether or not you will be attending. And then the same 2 options are available just with 2 different names in January. So Early Decision 2 is the same as Early Decision 1, binding program, and then Regular Decision is the same as Early Action, so non-binding. So some students who want us to, say, see that whole first semester of senior year will choose that later deadline. Otherwise, it's always great for students to know earlier on, around mid-December or so, if they've been admitted to Catholic and just have a little bit more time to think about that decision. So how can you get here? So looking at the application review process, our application materials that we require, the high school transcript, a school report and counselor letter, as well as a teacher recommendation letter. So we only require the 1 academic teacher recommendation. If you happen to have more than 1, or you have a priest, music instructor, coach, or someone outside the classroom that really, gives us an important side of who you are for us to kind of put that puzzle together, you can feel free to have them send 1 as well. But again, we only require the 1 academic recommendation. We are a Common App exclusive school, so we use the Common Application essay, and we do have our own university-specific question on the Common App. So that's a Catholic University statement. So sort of, why Catholic University? You can talk about, anything from why you want to come to study something specifically, why DC, again, why, Catholic University out of everywhere, why, whatever it is. We're just looking, again, to get to know you. So this is optional. I always recommend students to fill this out if they can. Really, any school that there's a supplemental essay and you've got a high interest in the school, it always helps for them to just have more information about why you'd like to attend their university. We don't have an application fee, and this year we are a test blind institution. We're actually going to be test blind for the next couple years in terms of research reasons, but so we are test blind, which means that we won't be considering test scores at all during the application process. So you don't have to worry about whether or not to send scores, or if you haven't taken a test, we are not going to be looking at any scores when we're considering your application as a whole. We have been test optional for the past few years. So we have, we're used to that sort of review process anyway. And so normally, we look at your transcript, your own progression through high school, and your GPA unweighted. And we've been really able to be successful in determining students' abilities in the classroom based on those numbers. And I'll get into in a minute what strength of curriculum is, but we're really able to figure out students' academic ability in the classroom with those numbers, and which has shown through our retention rate and the success of our students that we've been able to admit here at Catholic. So we're confident that that will continue even with a test blind policy. So again, we're looking for your progression through high school. We recalculate GPAs to a 4.0 scale. So any weight in an honors, AP, or IB class is going to be taken out to see, what grades you got in those courses. And then don't worry, those all get considered when we look at what's called strength of curriculum. So we look at what your high school offers, what you were able to take advantage of, and again, that your own progression through high school. And we assign a number 1 through 10 to each individual student. It's not a blanket grade or a blanket score for a whole school. We look at each individual transcript for that. And then, again, we're just looking to get to know you and your application. So through that Common App essay, that Catholic University statement, we're able to gauge your interest in Catholic University, filling out on the Common App all of your activities, any interests, service, leadership that you might be involved in. And we do offer personal interviews. So right now, if you would like to interview and you are a student from West Virginia, you can reach out to me through my email to make an appointment for an interview. These are optional. This is just a chance for us to get to know you again just a little bit better, and for you to answer or get some questions answered. But that's totally up to you. And so finally, we will talk about financially how, to get here to Catholic. So for any financial aid, we require the FAFSA and the CSS profile, and we do offer merit scholarships as well. So like the honors program, all students get considered for merit scholarships upon application. So we look at that GPA and that strength of curriculum score. And, again, I've gotten this question sometimes as well. We are still test blind for any merit for the honors program. For all majors, there aren't any majors that technically require scores. They're all test blind. So looking at that GPA and that strength of curriculum score, we're able to determine different brackets of merit scholarship for that. Those range from about $17,000 to $30,000. The $30,000 merit scholarship goes along with our honors program invitation. You'll find out about any merit scholarship or honors invitation when you get your admit packet in the mail, and any financial aid comes just a little bit later. Last year, with our later deadlines, we were actually able to send that all together, which was great. So hopefully we'll be able to do that again this year. And then lastly, I'll just draw your attention to 2 specific merit scholarships and the grant that are asked about on the Common application. So we can't go back in and change these later, which is why I like to just draw students' attention to them. So the Parish Scholarship and the Legacy Grant are what they're called. So the Parish Scholarship, if you attend a Catholic parish, is $4,000 a year. That's not something you're applying for. You just will automatically be able to get that if you input your information in the Common App. And then the Legacy Grant, if you've had a parent, sibling, or grandparent attend Catholic, that is $1,000. So again, make sure, hard to miss, but make sure to just kind of keep a lookout for that on the Common App. But with that, I will end off today's presentation, see if anyone has any questions, but thank you so much for joining us here today. Again, my name is Rita Murphy. If you have any questions, you can find my information on Catholic University's website. Feel free to reach out to me with any questions or about interviews or anything like that. Let's see if we've got any questions. Oh, hi, Cameron. Thanks for joining us. If you've got any questions, feel free to send them in the chat. If not, we will close out in just a couple minutes, but I'm trying to see if I can, I guess I can't type myself, but all right. Well, if you have any questions after the fact, my email is murphyrc@cua.edu. And again, you can find that all on our website, but just figured I would just say that out loud for now.
Hi, everybody. You still have plenty of time to ask questions. If you have any, the Q&A box is at the bottom of your screen. You can just type your question in there, and Rita can address that for you. I'm just going to go ahead real quick and show you my last slide. And then, like I said, we still have time, so feel free to think of any questions and let us know.
Perfect,
So
thank you.
again, thank you for joining us this evening. When you close out the session, you will see a quick 4-question survey. If you would fill that out for us, that would be great. Any feedback that you can provide is helpful. Again, this is just one of the many sessions that we are offering over the next few weeks. So you can sign up for more of those and see the full schedule at WVACRAO.org. Also, this recording will be available and will be on our website probably in about a week or so. And again, that's the same website that I just gave you, WVACRAO.org.
Awesome, thanks. I saw things start moving slow and I quickly saw that my battery was flying down. All right.
I think it's just me and you now, so.
I think so.
All right. Well, thank you. It was an awesome presentation, and we will get this uploaded to the site and you can share it, and you will get the registrations here in just a couple days.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Enjoy the rest of your night.
You too. Bye-bye.